What's up, my good people of the internet, and welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Once again, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora here with you Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate your patience here this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And I have an annoying moment of the week that happened just a little while ago, so we'll get to discuss it. There's probably a couple of them that I can mention from today or around today. So I'll have some fun with that, as you know, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our awesomely redesigned studios. It gives me an opportunity to walk around, talk with you, interact with you, show you a bunch of awesome things here. We have the mug from Mr. Bill Cook. We have the Diamondbacks. We have some awesome things that have been signed from players that have been here in Syracuse history that I appreciate so very much. We have my grandfather's Miller Day Miller shirt for my Pop Miller that worked at Miller Brewing. We have Teal with it for the Jaguars, our new Binghamton Bearcats rally towel that's been brought here with our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. And the day that two awesome things happen at LeMoyne College in one game. My guy Isaiah Salter got to 1,000 career points, and Kai Cleary became the all-time single-game leading scorer in LeMoyne history, passing a record that was held for 70 years from Dick Kenyon back in the 50s. And so I had the coaches all sign that, as well as Bob Beretta, the athletics director, and of course I had Kai and Isaiah Salter sign the program, and it just so happens to be that my show was the game sponsor the day that history was made, because God is good. Hope makes the impossible possible. My Bobcat bobblehead here wearing number 21, my number, and so many other great things, including the Trevor Lawrence poster that my big brother got me. So a lot of great stuff here in the studio. As I'm walking around, as I do these things, you have the opportunity to see all of these different pieces. And for those of you that watch and listen every single broadcast that we have, thank you so much. And you're the ones that will tell me, like, oh, Dan, that moved, or you got rid of that, or you brought that in. That's pretty cool. So the shout out to everybody that's paying attention, watching my show like they're watching Easter eggs in a Marvel movie. So I appreciate it so very much. A lot of great stuff coming up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We're going to start the show off with the annoying moment of the week inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', the annoying moment of the week, coming to you today and every single Friday to start off the broadcast. Love bringing you the annoying moment of the week. We had a lot of fun with it last week, and we're going to have some fun this week as well, and that proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. It is what happy tastes like, and you can get over there today to enjoy the awesome flavors of Carvel DeWitt, including my sundae, the DT Dolphin. So make sure you get yourself over there to Carvel DeWitt and try that today. And right after the show, you can actually head over there. So make sure you do that on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. From there, we're going to get into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver is what the acronym stands for. It's proudly presented by the fantastic team at Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, led by our fearless leader of Jimmer Sikowski, with his amazing and incredible faith and story and testament. And so today we will be focusing on the topic inside of Lead. What is the fire that is inside of you? What is that fire inside of you personally? We're going to talk about that, try and discover that with you this morning. So excited to bring that to you. Then we'll do the top dog of the week, proudly presented by K9 Kamp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. And that will be honoring someone or a group of people in our community of Central and Upstate New York, celebrating them and their awesome achievements and the things that they're doing. So I'm excited to bring that to you. And then we'll round out the show today. We're going to hang around a little bit longer, as we typically do, and we're going to bring you a bonus edition of AD and DT, our exclusive segment with Bob Beretta, the athletics director of LeMoyne College, aka the AD, and myself, Dan Tortora, the DT. And we will be bringing you something very special in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, an exclusive big announcement about LeMoyne. And I can't wait. We've done a lot of exclusives with LeMoyne, and this one is massive. So I cannot wait to bring that to you around 11:15 a.m. Eastern time this morning. So hang out past our typical time of the show as Bob Beretta and I got some news for you, and we're going to be releasing simultaneously a story on wakeupcalldt.com. Well, we're actually going to release it just a few minutes before Bob comes on. So we're going to release the story, then Bob's going to come on and talk with me about it. So very excited to do that. So you can go to wakeupcalldt.com at around 11:10 Eastern time this morning. And of course, you can hear from Bob around 11:15 a.m. this morning on the show with some awesome, incredible news. Cannot wait. I really want to tell you, but I have to wait just a little bit longer before I tell you. Let's hop into the annoying moment of the week.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
Do you have to be that crazy? I guess so. It's time for the annoying moment of the week, folks. And the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, gives me an opportunity to share with you literally anything that I would like to share. And so opening the door wide here, I try to talk about stuff that, obviously it's stuff I've experienced, but I think in a lot of ways, those of you that watch and listen can relate to the things that I'm talking about. And one of my annoying moments of the week that I have for you this morning is that I woke up this morning, and when you wake up, and well, obviously I woke up this morning, that's, I love when I make statements on the show and I'm like, okay, that's where we're going to go, Dan. So I woke up this morning. Yeah, we know. So we're confident in that. We could see that. But when I woke up this morning, as people typically do, you stretch your legs, right? You get up in the morning, you give your legs a little stretchy stretch, and I did that. So I got up this morning, I decided to stretch my legs out, and when I did this, I got that feeling of like, okay, I think one of my legs is going to tighten up. But I've been able to, for like a long time, just kind of like work through it so it doesn't tighten up. And so, you stretch your leg, and as you're stretching your leg, you can feel that your calf is tightening. And as your calf is tightening, you're like, all right, so like, let me pull back from the stretch. Well, today I couldn't pull back from it, and I still have it. I have what they call a Charlie horse. And here's my thing. I like horses. Not a big fan of Charlie, but you got to kind of just work it out because it's like a nerve thing. But I got up and I did a stretch. And when I stretched out my leg, and you give your leg that good, like, big old stretch where you just like push your leg out and you just give it that big thing, right? Yeah, well, I got the Charlie horse. So you have to like bend your leg, then you have to get up, then you have to move over. But here's the thing. If you're like, I don't know how you wake up in the morning. I don't know if, you have one of those cute wake ups where you know what I mean? Or if you're like, are you grumpy or are you Tinkerbell when you wake up in the morning? That's the question. And guys, it's okay to be Tinkerbell. You can say that you're very sweet in the morning. It's okay to be sweet in the morning. Some people, one of my friends growing up, he said to me, I'm horrible in the morning. I have to eat food. Now, this is when we were kids. We were little, we were young. And he said, when I wake up in the morning, I need food. And I'll never forget this. We were at his kitchen table at his parents' house, where, obviously growing up, and he wouldn't talk to me. He was sitting right across from me, and I was saying his name, and he's just staring. And he looked like at one point, he was going to, like, I don't know, jump across the table at my face. He looked very angry. And I'm sitting here like, what is going on with this kid? His mom put food down on the table. He took a couple bites of pancakes, and he's like, so, D, what do you want to do today? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who is this? You know what I mean? He literally needed to chew food and swallow it in order to speak to me in the morning. He went from someone who looked like a soldier that's guarding something in London, immovable, to, hey, buddy, what's going on? How you been? All because he had 2 bites of food. So how do you wake up in the morning? Are you sweet? Are you kind? Or, like my friend, do you need some form of Popeye spinach? I mean, I don't know. And it's no offense to him whatsoever. I think the story's funny. But as a kid, I was like, what is going on with my friend? I was like talking to him. There's nobody else in the room. And he just wasn't talking to me. And I'm like, is he mad at me? Did I do something? I just woke up. And he just needed to eat food. But how you wake up in the morning, how do you stretch? How do you, are you cute or are you grumpy? Are you that person that won't get out of bed? See, I'm that person that's like going to set the alarm and then set another alarm and then maybe another alarm. And I just want to lay there. But that's also because I stay up late. The last 2 nights I've been up doing work, not being ridiculous. Your boy's never been drunk. I'm not out on the town losing myself. I was home. The last 2 nights, most nights I'm hanging out doing work late. And I worked and went to bed at 4 a.m. 2 nights ago. And last night was around 3 a.m. That's when I went to bed. I was working. I was editing and getting stuff up. And please make sure you go and check it out. On Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. You can also go to YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. And when you go there, you can find all of my American Athletic Conference tournament content with women's basketball and men's basketball and get my Q&As with the coaches and the student athletes. So I was putting stuff up last night with Wichita State, Memphis, Temple, and SMU. And I was just up late. So when I wake up in the morning, it's hard for me to get out of bed when, you've only had 4 hours of sleep. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? But I feel like I'm nice in the morning. I don't feel like I'm like, get away from me. But my mom used to come in, and my mom used to wake me up. And I'm talking to the parents now. So when I was a kid in high school, my mom used to wake me up. And the way in my life, the way in my world, that my mom woke me up or my dad woke me up is different. My mom would come in and my mom would start singing. And she'd sing to me, sing to me, sing to me, and I wouldn't wake up. And then she'd sing a little bit louder, and then I wouldn't wake up. And this is how it went. It was like, honey, sweetheart, it's time to go to school. Mommy is waking you up. Nothing. Honey, it's time to wake up. Come on, Daniel. Nothing. Daniel, it's time to wake up. And if, gosh forbid, you got to that third one or the fourth one, Daniel, get your out of bed right now. Okay? Not going to tell you twice. And then my mom would go in every once in a while. She'd go, Ralph, your son is not getting up. You realize when one of your parents mad at you, they're no longer your parent. They tell the other parent, that is your child. Get your child up. Not my child. Go get your child. And so she says to my dad, go wake your son up. My dad comes in the room. He goes, hey, boy, you up? Yeah. He goes, okay. He'd come over. He wouldn't say anything, and I'd be awake, but he didn't know I was awake. He'd come over, grab my toe, come to the end of the bed, grab my toe under the sheet, just grab the toe, and he'd walk away. And it was great because my dad wasn't like, I don't think my dad, maybe like one time he was like, hey, get out of bed type of thing. But normally it was my mom that was just, hi, sweetheart, Mom loves you. That quickly turned into, I will murder you if you don't get out of bed. So, I mean, she didn't say that. But, like when you have an Italian mother, you listen. By the way, going into the Italian mother, let's go to the next annoying moment of the week. And don't worry, Mom, this is not an annoying moment of the week that has anything to do with you. This has to do with society. When I was growing up, whatever your parents made you for dinner was dinner. That was it. If she made ham, you're having ham. You're not having What do you, do you want spaghetti and meatballs? Do you want peanut butter and jelly? Do you want to just sit here and stare at the family because you're being difficult? And would you also like to have some ham? No, it was I made ham, period. That's it. What'd you make for dinner, Mom? Ham. That's it. Boom. My mom's an awesome cook, by the way. But, like, you ate what was made for you. You didn't eat whatever you wanted. You ate what was made for you. These parents now, they got 4 different kids. They're making 4 different meals. I just want my children to be happy. Well, I want this planet to be populated by people who don't think that the world has to bow to them every time they step outside. So make them food. Obviously, don't make them something that they're allergic to, but make them food that you want to make, okay? I mean, listen, if all your kids don't like sausage, I told my mom growing up, I'm like, I don't want sausage for dinner. I didn't really, I told her as I got older because I thought, I get a little slap, you know what I mean? And, when you have an Italian mom and you're like, hey, Mom, make everything but this, she's going to be like, why? So I was just like, Ma, eventually I got the courage up to tell my Italian mother, please, if you can help it, can we not have sausage for dinner? And she would still make it. And I don't like the look of it. I don't like the taste of it. No. Like, if you put sausage on pizza, fine, right? The pepperoni sausage pizza at the Wildcat, to die for. If you put it on pizza, fine. You can put a lot of things on pizza, and I'd be like, okay. But I was just like, Ma, please don't make that. So what I did one night, children, listen to me. If you have a dog whose sausage does not bother their stomach, I would like chew the sausage, wait for my mom to look down, which she almost never did. My mom sat directly across from me. If you have an Italian mother, she will look at you the entire meal to make sure that you're eating, to make sure that you like it, and to make sure that you finish all of it. So in the very few moments and milliseconds that my mother would look away, I would chew the food, put it into a napkin, and put it on the ground. And one time, my dog Mordu was upstairs from the basement, and he was just eating out of my napkin. But he was doing it quietly. Thank you, Mordu. I miss you, and I love you, buddy. Thanks for not getting me in trouble. So, but my annoying moment of the week, to get back to it, is stop making different meals for your children. Just make food. Okay? They'll eat it because they have to, because they're hungry. Growing up as a kid, I wanted pizza every day, but my parents didn't do that, and I'm not 500 pounds today. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And I also don't think the world should bow to me. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I saw a post that said, our parents, I thought my parents were so hard on me growing up. Like, somebody who's like in their 30s, 40s. I thought my parents were so hard on me growing up. And then they said, I think my parents actually ended up saving my life. And I think that it's not even like tough love. It's just teaching your children that they can't have everything they want every time they want it. That you have to work for things in life, and you have to appreciate things in life. And I grew up, and I was just proud that we had enough money to put food on the table, and that my mom was a good cook. Every night, my mom is out there just killing it. 5-star Michelin mom. Just doing it. We would go out to dinner, and I'd be excited to go get pizza, but then I'd be excited the next day to find out what my mom was going to make. Whatever was on Mom's menu. We got to get back to that. And you got to get back to eating as a family. I think a lot of broken homes and children that are just kind of messing around in life, I think that part of what it stems from is that you don't have that daily quality check-in time. You should do that. I know it's hard breakfast time because everybody's getting ready. You got to get on the bus and yada, yada, yada. And you got maybe different work schedules. But dinner time, 5:30 every night. Mom, Dad, myself, sitting at the dinner table. And we talked. We talked about big things in life. We talked about planning trips. We talked about my grades. We talked about my mom's work. We talked about my dad's work. We talked about what I'm interested in. We talked about what they're interested in. We got to know each other. We associated with each other. We connected with each other. We learned so much about each other. And if we didn't have that time, I might have thought my parents don't care about me. I don't matter in this household. And then you go search for people that care about you outside your house, which can be very dangerous when you're desperately looking for somebody to care about you. So one of my annoying moments of the week is we need to start eating together as families again, because that hour can save a life, can make a child, a parent feel seen. So let's make sure that we do that. And eat your dinner that your mom or dad makes you. Just eat it. Okay? If there's no razor blades in it and it's not still walking, eat it. Why not? You know what I mean? Stop making your parents make you 15 different things. Honey, I made turkey for dinner. Well, I want grilled cheese. And I'm going to sit here and cry until my mom makes me grilled cheese. And then you know what's going to happen if that mom or dad makes you grilled cheese? That person's going to turn into a 30-year-old monster who is going to cry every time the world doesn't give them their figurative grilled cheese. So eat the turkey and appreciate that someone spent a lot of time making you that dinner. Just appreciate it. So, annoying moments of the week. Appreciate the dinners that are made for you. Spend time to eat as a family with those that you love. And when you get a Charlie horse, I think I'm doing a good job with it today. I'm feeling it, but not really feeling it. And I'm like, man, am I not drinking a lot of water? I got my agua right here in my nice LeMoyne thermos that keeps my stuff cold for. I'm sure it keeps it hot too, but I typically drink colder stuff. That is one of the coldest thermoses that I have. That just keeps stuff cold. I'm not saying it because it's a LeMoyne. I'm saying it because it works. But I'm drinking out of my LeMoyne cup today because I have LeMoyne exclusive news to share with you in less than 2 hours. And it is awesome. So I cannot wait to share that with you. Before we take a step aside, do I have another annoying moment of the week? Could I possibly, potentially have another annoying moment of the week? Okay, how about this? There's certain food. I don't know. We're sticking with food this morning. I'm hungry. So there's certain foods. This is why I have to eat before I come to the studio. There's certain foods. I love that. My mom said, "Good morning. Next message. Thanks, Dan," which means I'm going to get yelled at. So, no. Listen, Ma. My mom knows she's a fantastic cook. But this was my mom. It was an unspoken thing. It wasn't like, hey, honey, here's dinner. Make a choice if you want it or not. My mom would take the food. She'd put it on the table. And she'd say, sit down, we're eating. That was it. Sit down. Food. She said my great-grandfather didn't even speak at the table. He used to go, if he wanted something. Na-na-na-na. He'd, That's it. He'd just point because he didn't want anybody to talk. You're just supposed to come there and eat. I believe you're supposed to talk around the dinner table. No offense to my great-grandfather, Louis. I love you. But eat the food that your parents make you. Be kind. The other part of this is I'm super hungry right now. And I'm just, I'm really hungry. Because I didn't, have a traditional dinner last night. I mean, I ate, but I didn't have, a dinner. And I abide by, no meat during Lent on Fridays. So, and I've been doing well. And I have not because normally I make, one mistake. Where I'm just sitting there going, this BLT's fantastic. And then my mom's like, yeah, they are really good. And then I look at her and I'm like, uh-oh. So, we are not supposed to be eating this right now. So, yeah, I've done well, though. I'm going to make it to the end. I know it. So the other thing I want to talk about when it comes to food is, well, number one, it's expensive right now. But as a card-carrying Italian and Hispanic, I love the food of my culture because it matters to me. It matters to me, the food in my culture. I want to love it. I want to find those things I love and I want to make them, and it's great. And they say that in every relationship that's not necessarily good, find something good in every, not great relationship. I don't want to call it a bad relationship, but they say find something good in every relationship. Find something good. And for some odd reason, in every person that I've dated, when the relationship's not good, the food is fantastic. But it is. And so, I dated this one girl, she gave me this killer recipe. I dated this other girl, she made some really good enchiladas. I dated this other girl, she brought me to a nice restaurant that became one of my favorites. I dated this other girl, she introduced me to this fast food chain that I love down in the South. So I would tell you today, if you're dating someone and you're thinking, wow, this is really not a good relationship, before you leave it, get their recipe book or have them have them take you to that place. If you know this relationship is going to be ending in a couple days, make sure you go to Zaxby's. but I'm just saying. And can anybody make a good churro? That's what I was trying to get at today. Can anyone make a good churro? Anybody. And I want to shout out Pam. Pam says to me a couple days ago, we're in this really nice cafe. Stay tuned for that. And low key, got some big news coming up for you folks. Actually, kind of high key. It's coming up really soon. But we were in this cafe that's going to be part of something really awesome that we're going to discuss here on Wake Up Call and have a lot of fun with, I look forward to. So we're sitting in the cafe and we were talking about churros. And I was like, yeah, I don't feel like anybody makes them. Stop putting cream cheese in them or whatever you fill them with. Stop. They're not eclairs. Stop doing that. Don't do it. Just make a churro. Love it up good. Okay? Cinnamon sugar. It kind of looks like a star. It's pointed. It's like a stick. But it's got to be soft, right? It's like a pizza frite, but Hispanically infused. Stop filling them. It's gross. Just stop doing it. Don't call it a churro. Call it a weird eclair. I don't know. Call it something else. But anyways, I was talking to Pam, and Pam said about this cafe, she said, you should get the churro muffins. It tastes just like a churro. And the one thing that I realized this morning is I saved that muffin, and it's here in the studio office. So your boy, during commercial breaks, can be chomping on that churro muffin. Yay. And I'm really excited about that. So shout out our awesome cafe that we're going to be making big news with very soon for making these churros. The owner is also the chef of these amazing churro muffins. And all of the muffins there, the chocolate chip one is my favorite. We'll see if churro can pass it. But, when you're in a bad relationship, find something good related to food. Trust me. You could be in the worst relationship with somebody that you're like, man, I got to get out. But that's also where I have found some really awesome, tasty dishes. I hope the person that you're with for the rest of your life is the best cook ever. And I hope you to them. And in the meantime, as you're dating some fun people, make sure in your trail, dating is a journey. And on journeys we get hungry. So make sure that when you're dating, you always find a good rest stop. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back with Lead. Right? I can't wait to hear what my mom's going to say about this. We'll be back after this.
Hi, This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Rd in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We're hanging out with you in our studios, and we have the opportunity in these awesome studios to walk around, have all this awesome stuff here with you. Everything in my studio has meaning, it has a history, it has a purpose. And I want to thank everybody and all the incredible, wonderful people and stories that I can connect to all of these things, because God has sent me many beautiful blessings in my life, and I just want to say thank you for them. So, with that being said, here on the show, it's time, speaking of blessings, it's time to get into LEAD. Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver. That's the acronym. And it is proudly presented to you,
Dan Tortora.
Real? Well, are you kidding me?
The annoying.
Apparently, my show can do whatever it wants today. My show's just feeling. There we go. See, sometimes things will shift in the studio with some of our hotkeys, and this one decided to shift. So once it shifts back, whenever it feels like it, there we go. Okay, let's get into LEAD. Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Such a nice transition, interrupted by technology. Folks, be careful of AI. Don't want technology to interrupt you and not be able to change and adjust. LEAD. Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. Today's topic: what is that fire inside of you? What is it? What is that thing that you're so passionate about that means so much to you? Because I feel like if we don't have it or if we don't know it, what are we doing? You know, I feel like when you have that drive and you have that passion, you have that stuff that really matters to you, it's life-changing, it's game-changing. Can you pinpoint and tell me what the fire is that lies inside of you? What are you most passionate about? Because I think a lot of us, you know, we live for other people, right? We live to see other people happy. We help other people. It means the world to us to help others. And I think that that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But I ask you, what is the fire inside of you? What makes you tick? What is that thing that you just love so much? Is it going out and helping? Is it administering to the poor? Is it playing basketball? I mean, this is a spectrum of just anything. What are the things that you just love to do? Those passions that you have. And the reason why I brought up this question this morning in lead is because I feel like when we don't know what our passions are, when we can't pinpoint the things that matter most to us, I feel like that's where we don't have direction in life, and I feel like that's where we start to feel hollow, and then we start to settle. Don't ever settle. Don't ever settle. In a relationship, in a job, in a home, do not settle. Stop thinking that you're going to live for 1,000 years and that you're going to stay the same age, right? I'm going to get to 30. I feel good. I look good. I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life, frozen in time. And I'm going to live for 100 years, but I'm going to look like I'm 30 and everything's going to be great. And no matter how many mistakes I make, I can just, you know, take Cable's thing from the movie Deadpool and I can turn it back in time. I can jump in the DeLorean with Doc and Marty and I'm back to where I want to be again, starting all over. You can't do that. You can't. By the way, somebody told me recently that there was a time machine created and that someone destroyed it. And I thought three things. One, why did no one tell me there was a time machine? Two, where was it? And three, why would you get rid of it? If there actually was a time machine, I would want to go back. Not because I want to play God. I would just want to do it. Because I love Back to the Future. I think it's really cool to be able to like bounce around. But we can't go back and change history. And there's the reality of the fact that if we did go back and change one part of history, it would change every part of history. That if you went back and you changed how you asked that girl out, and this time she said yes, that like maybe Abraham Lincoln would have never been shot. Like that's how the movie A Sound of Thunder plays off of if one tiny, you think it's tiny, if one thing changed in history, it could change every part of history. Like the ripple effect is insane. If you want to be slightly disturbed, but also dig into that theory, watch the movie A Sound of Thunder. Trust me. There's nothing I've ever seen like it. It's a really good movie. It's disturbing, but it's a good movie. Like the movie Leave the World Behind that I just watched this week. That movie was highly disturbing, but also very real to the times. You know, I think there's directors and producers and writers that write these cautionary tales. And as disturbing as they may be, they're disturbing because you can see in society like this could happen. And then hopefully it causes you and others to prevent it from happening by living better, smarter, and, you know, by thinking more things through. Movies can tell a message, folks. They don't just have to be places where we shut our brains off. And so to get back to it, what is that fire inside of you? Like, I love to write. I love to write songs. I love to write notes. I love to write poems. I mean, my poems turn into songs because songs are poetry in motion. But I just love to write. I'm so passionate about writing. I absolutely love to write. I hope God will give me full usage of all of my faculties, including my hands and my brain, my whole life. Because I love to think about things and then write. Like, I love to to exercise my brain and write. I love it. Absolutely love it. Huge passion of mine. I want to write a movie. Huge passion of mine. It's a fire inside of me. I love waking up in the morning and doing the show. Not necessarily that I'm sitting here like, I love March Madness, right? I love the NCAA tournament. But there could be a game that I really didn't enjoy watching, but it doesn't make me not love being a broadcaster. It's just like, that game it's all right. You know what I mean? But there's that passion. Like if there was a game on at 3 o'clock this morning, I would have been up until 6 because something inside me would have been like, well, I want to see how this game goes. And I asked the question today because I find that there's some people that don't know what their passion is, or they're not chasing it. And I don't want to, this is not to like make you feel bad or make you feel uncomfortable. If you're not chasing after your dreams and your aspirations, you probably are listening to the show and watching the show this morning feeling like, Dan, please don't bring up that wound because you're going to make it, the scab's going to break and it's going to bleed. But I'm talking about the wound because would you rather be someone who doesn't chase your dream out of fear or because somebody told you that you can't or because it's difficult and go the rest of your life not chasing your passion? Are you okay being that person? Or would you like to chase it and go through hard times trying to catch it? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I mean, I had this conversation in the last couple days. The things that we want in life are not easy. They're not. God does not, you don't say to God, hey, I want this, and God goes, okay. That's not how it works, in the sense of like when you're fighting for God gives you gifts every single day, and I hope you pay attention to them and see them. What I'm saying is, when I said to God, I want to be a broadcaster, he didn't go, okay. I applied to 91 places, and not all broadcasting. It was like all different jobs, but 91 places when I graduated. I didn't get a job from a single one of them. I applied to over 40 TV stations. One TV station in Connecticut with Joe Zone was out there, sent me back a postcard. None of the other ones thought it was important to reach back out, which I find highly rude. And it's not how I would run my business. And it's like, well, Dan, what if they got 500 applicants? Find a way to thank people that want to work for you. If I had 500 people come to Dan Tortora Broadcast Media and say, I want to work for you, I'm not going to hire all 500. Maybe I don't know, but we'll see. But whether I'm hiring them or not, I'm grateful that they considered my business a place that they would like to spend precious moments of their life at. You don't get time back. So when somebody is like, I want to work for you, there's something about you that intrigues me, inspires me, just calls that passion in my chest. If I got 500 applicants, I'd want to send 500 thank yous. Thank you for reaching out to me. Thank you for valuing my company and what I do to the point where you actually want to be here. Thank you for that. So, I do think that businesses need to do that. I think it's important, and when you're looking for that fire inside of you, like if you ask me right now, for example, you say, Dan, what's the fire inside of you? I would say to you, I love to write. I love music. I love screenwriting and the opportunity of making a movie. I love to create characters. I love to build things, in the sense of creating like this business. I love talking with people about things that matter to them. I love learning about people. I love people opening up to me and feeling safe with me and treating me differently in a positive way because of the environment that I try to create. Like, I love seeing someone, like when a parent comes up to me and goes, my daughter has never spoken that much, but she did with you. And I loved listening to your interview. Like, that stuff means a lot to me. Not because of ego, but because, like, I want to make the world better than how I found it. To the best of my ability, I want to work with God to help the world be a better place. So when people come up to you and say, you got me out of my shell, you got me to talk about this, you got me to feel comfortable, you got me to feel safe, like, those things mean a lot to me because they're good things that are happening. And when you're spreading good in society, it should cause you to get really excited. So, I mean, I have a lot of passions. I have a passion for helping people in many different ways. I have a passion for comedy. I love making people laugh. I love to write. I love to create, which connects to a lot of the stuff, be it comedy or or any of my shows or screenwriting and, music. And so I know what my passions are. And when I listen to them, I'm so just like energized to go do it. And so I brought up the question today because if you don't know what your passions are, I pray that you find them. And I think that if you really listen to that little voice inside of you, you will find them. Sometimes it's scary to people to be successful, and I know that sounds weird, but sometimes people are afraid of success. They're afraid to achieve everything they want because they're afraid to lose it. I've been that way. I have. You want something so bad, and then when you taste it, you think you have it. Now it's become your focus. Your focus was, I want to get this thing in my life. Then you get this thing in your life. And then instead of enjoying it, you focus on not losing it, which, by the way, almost always makes you lose it. Or it just makes you miserable. Or both. And so, I would say to you to really think about what your passion is and don't be afraid of success. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants something in life, and a lot of us want the same things, right? Love, safety, health, food, travel, and a better life for our kids than we had. Safe neighborhoods, educators who actually educate. And, shout out to all the teachers that are just kicking butt, man. Shout out to all the teachers that are actually teaching, that aren't following this weird last few years of this distortion of reality and 2 + 2 can equal 5 and erasing history because you don't want to offend people. Shout out to the teachers that are telling history like it happened. And shout out to the teachers that are telling you things that don't change, like 2 + 2 is always 4. So, I mean, to the teachers that are actually out there teaching, God bless you. And to the teachers that aren't teaching, God bless you too. I don't know what happened to you, but let's start teaching again. Let's start actually helping these kids, because kids don't become lunatics on their own. Lunatics create other lunatics. And what you feed a child is what they will want to consume for the rest of their lives. That's why it's very clear that love is taught and hate is taught. What you feed a child, they will yearn for. If you feed them hate, if you feed them irrationality and illogical things and things that don't make sense, children will believe in those things and consume those things. And that is why I think society is so messed up right now, because there are lunatics that for some odd reason feel the need to not only believe in irrationality and illogical behavior, but they're trying to spread it like a disease. And I think going back to your passion, when you know what you're passionate about and you know what matters to you, it can cause you to just get by all of this illogical, irrational, whatever. When you have dreams and aspirations, you get focused. And when you really love something, your life becomes rewarding. You don't have to win every battle, because the bigger picture is that you're chasing your dreams. And every time you catch a little piece of it and you build it and you build it and you build it, you just get excited. I mean, last night, I had some amazing things happen at the LeMoyne women's basketball game. I see those relationships that have continued to grow, and I love that, and I'm grateful for that blessing. I've seen the relationships that from day zero have been one of the best ones I've ever had, and I appreciate that, and I value that. I value that blessing. I have a friend that comes and finds me and reminds me that, you know, they see the difference of what I do, and it matters to them. And that when I feel like things are just stolen from me, they're like, no, they're not, because we know who you are. Last night, God was working. And when my dad had to go to the doctor last night, God was working. And when I was on the phone late last night, God was working. And when you're passionate about something, when something matters to you, I can't speak for you and say you feel exactly the way I feel, but I can tell you that I'm invigorated every single day to chase it. It doesn't matter how tired I am. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter what happened the last day, you know, the day prior. I will always fight for what I believe in because it's my passion. My passion is God. My passion is helping people. My passion is creating. My passion is writing something on a piece of paper and then watching it happen with my eyes, like the words on the paper just jumped off and came to life. I've always believed as a kid that if you dream it, you can do it. And I've proven that by the grace of God. I'm not sitting here taking all the credit. Oh, I'm awesome. No, I've proven that you can, if you dream it, you can do it, because God is really awesome and we work together. And when I'm not working against him, we are unstoppable. And so I wanted to say this morning because some of you that I speak with are at jobs that you're not passionate about, and you're in relationships that you're not passionate about, and you're living in a place that you're not passionate about. And it's a difficult conversation, but, you know, I'm going to tough love you up here a little bit and tell you, would you like to listen to my show for the rest of your life saying, wow, I really like those things Dan's saying, and I really wish I had done that with my life. Good for him. Or do you want to be able to write into the show and say, hey, Dan, thanks for the conversation that you had. Thanks for the pick-me-up and for what you had to share with me about your life and about passion and about fire, because it reminded me or invigorated me or helped me get my butt out of the chair, and this is what I'm doing now. This is who I'm married to. This is where I live. This is what I'm chasing. I want everybody that watches and listens to this show to have an incredible life. I want your life to be as amazing as God has made mine. Even better. I don't care if your life is even better. Because who are we if we're not going after the things that we want and the things that we desire? What are we giving to our lives if we are not fully, completely chasing the fire that lies inside of us? God put that fire in there. And whether you believe in God or not, we all know that there's a fire inside of us. And when you put wood on that fire, it will burn forever. So if you're not putting wood on your fire today, if you're cold, it's time for you to start hitting those rocks together, rubbing those sticks together, chopping that wood, putting it in a pile, lighting a match, and getting things going. It is never too late to be the person that you've always wanted to be for yourself. It is never too late to be the person that you always wanted to be for yourself. Don't give up. I cannot wait to hear your stories. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back with the top dog of the week right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and it is now time for the top dog of the week. Top dog of the week, proudly presented by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding in East Syracuse. They are the place to bring your furry loving friends. Get out to K9 Camp Dog Daycare on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, right across the street from BJ's Wholesale Club, just down the road from Erie Boulevard. Very easy to get to off of multiple highways. If you're coming from DeWitt, if you're coming from East Syracuse, if you're coming from Syracuse, come from North Syracuse, wherever you are, it is worth the drive every single time you head off to K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. The daycare, obviously daycare for your dogs, and you can call 315-437-7110 for more information and to figure out how you can set up an appointment to have your dog go there and have a little babysitting session with the pup. So with your pup, with your dog that's old, any age, right? The biggest thing about K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, besides their awesome care for our dogs, is the fact that they look at temperament. They want to make sure that they don't just accept any dog. They want the dogs that are there to not be any danger to any other dog. So it's important to them that the dogs have their shots and that the dogs are, with Lily, I went through a questionnaire to make sure that everything was okay, that Lily was safe to be around other dogs were safe to be around her. It's that extra step that K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding take, and I appreciate them so much. The daycare, 315-437-7110. And, of course, you can go to 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse to check them out. For more information, go to K-9kamp.com. And right around the corner on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, you will find K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, where every single dog that is there at the dog boarding K9 Kampground, when they're there, they have their own cabin. So they have their own food, they have their own water dish, they have their own bed. So they're not fighting for anything. They got their own place. Some dogs like to watch TV. There's some cabins with some TVs. There's some outdoor fun. There's indoor fun. And the staff is absolutely great. So make sure that you call 315-299-4013 if you're looking to get a cabin reserved for your dog. That's 315-299-4013. And, of course, you can get more information by going to Kampground.com for Canine Campground. So, with that being said, who's my top dog of the week? Well, it's really cool when I get to do the top dog of the week, and it's hard for me to choose because I have so many. So I'm just going to name them all top dogs. The Liverpool girls basketball team is fighting for a state title. Mike Wheeler has been there, good buddy of mine. Awesome person. We met through business. We met through me covering OCC women's basketball and him being the coach at the time, all the way to now. And I appreciate Mike so very much. He's been the head coach of girls varsity basketball at Liverpool High School for 2 years. They've won a sectional title both years, and they fought for a state title both years, and they're fighting for a state title in the here and now. So they're top dogs of the week. My guy Fred Kent over at West Genesee, Fred Kent in the West Genesee Wildcats boys basketball team, I was with them when they won their first ever New York State title. And I was with them through the whole thing, through the 4 years of so many of those guys being there. You know, looking back at Will Amica, John Benson, and Christian Rossi, Luke Sutherland, Cam Jones, and so on and so forth. My guy that's, just an awesome, I'm thinking about all my dudes that were on that team, and I'm just picturing everybody that was there. And, I reflect back on that, my guy Duds, and it just really does. It means the world to be a part of that journey with them, and now they're on the journey again toward a hopeful second state title with West Genesee boys basketball in competition in the here and now, led by head coach Fred Kent. So, West Genesee boys basketball, top dogs of the week. And I got to give it up to LeMoyne. LeMoyne women's basketball. They're playing for a championship in the NEC. It's their first season in Division I. The reclassifying period is a 4-year period. They are in the first year of reclassifying from NCAA Division II to Division I. They will have a winning record at the end of the season, no matter what. They're currently 17-13 overall. They have won 16 of the 18 games they've played in the NEC after never having been a part of the Northeast Conference in their history. All of these teams were new outside of Merrimack and Stonehill, who used to also be Division II NE10 teams, so they have history with them. Everybody else was new. So, for LeMoyne to take me from last season to this season, and I see Mary Grimes on the sideline, and I don't see any 10 NEC. I don't see Division II, Division I. I see Mary Grimes as an awesome leader. I see Mary Grimes as a heck of a coach. I see these student athletes are incredible. I see this staff is awesome. There is something special about LeMoyne Dolphins athletics, and this women's basketball team is a beacon for the NEC, for empowering people and letting them know you can be what you want to be. They're top dogs of the week because they don't look like this is their first season. They don't look like they're just getting into the NEC. They don't look like this is Like, oh, let's just go out there and have some fun because it's going to take us a long time to get our feet wet in the conference and as a Division I institution. And I don't want to take anything away from men's basketball either, because I think they've been top dogs throughout this year as well, and they've done an incredible job too. I take nothing away from them. I'm looking at this and I'm saying the LeMoyne Dolphins women's basketball, and I can go to any LeMoyne program and show you the successes, what softball's done, the wins that they've had, the string of wins that they put together in so many games. The baseball team, as we talked about earlier this week, with their student athletes, with Brady and Jordan, and Brady Farino, as well as Jordan Goldman coming onto the show, and the fact that they have won at least one game in every series they played in. When you look at LeMoyne, and you look at Bryan and Stratton, and you look at Binghamton, these exclusive multimedia marketing partnerships that we have, it is very easy for me to find you top dogs of the week. And the reason why I'm talking about LeMoyne women's basketball right now is because the valiant effort of the men's and women's basketball teams at Binghamton, at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, and at LeMoyne, the team that has lasted through all of this is the LeMoyne women's basketball team. They have been a beacon of hope and promise and hard work paying off and dedication and determination and not letting anyone tell you who you are, but you deciding who you are. And I'm so moved by the entire staff and so proud and so happy that one of my close friends, Katie Kalinsky, got to come home. Happy for, up and down that staff, the work that they put in, what Mary does. When they won their quarterfinal game a couple days ago, Mary, after the game, she was on the phone in the gym, and she was shooting layups while she was talking on the phone. And there's just moments like that tell you, like, who the coaches are that are truly ballers. The ones that, like, they get it. The ones that just, again, what is that fire inside of you, going back to lead? The coaches that have that passion, that they don't have to tell you that they have it. When somebody loves, they don't have to tell you that they love. When someone has passion, they don't have to tell you they have passion. When someone's a good person, they don't have to tell you that they're a good person, because it just comes out of them. It's the energy that they give. And what this team has done in their first season in the NEC, in their first season in Division I, playing for a championship, playing for a trophy, playing for hardware, playing to call themselves NEC tournament champions the first season in the conference, the first season in Division I play. I keep saying that over and over and over again, all throughout every team's season at LeMoyne, because I want you to hear it and know it. These teams are successful right away. And beyond their record, they're doing some huge things. Women's lacrosse opens up by beating Cal. Hello? Men's soccer goes to the postseason. Women's soccer is right there at the cusp of being into the postseason. Swimming and diving is placing in the top 3 and setting record, breaking record, setting record. If you follow LeMoyne swimming and diving, every record that Adam Zakowski puts up on social media is set to be broken in about 5 minutes. Tomorrow, the next day, right? It's like he tells me, and then I'm looking at my phone going, okay, who's going to break it tomorrow? You look at golf and the success that women's golf just had. I mean, multiple sports, man. And basketball, I was like, okay, there's going to be a learning curve, right? But basketball, the men's team just under 500 in their first season. in Division I. They started the season at Georgetown, at Villanova. They played a lot of tough teams. They went to California for a string of games and won in California. And this women's basketball team, why are they the top dogs of the week specifically in this conversation today? Because they're playing in a championship in their first season. They could be the first LeMoyne program, with LeMoyne being a fully fledged 100% D1 institution. They could be the first sports program to win an NEC championship. And it's Sunday at noon Eastern time. And if you think I'm done talking about LeMoyne women's basketball, you are sadly mistaken. Because Bob Beretta and I have breaking news that is exclusive. It is going to air exclusively in an article on my website, wakeupcalldt.com this morning. And it is going to be followed by an exclusive conversation with LeMoyne College Athletics Director Bob Beretta. Folks, something massive is coming in connection with women's basketball. And I have done a good job waiting up to this point. So I'll bring it to you in just a little bit, 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. I look forward to it. My top dogs of the week. So many I can name. So many schools, so many teams. And as we look at a championship opportunity for Liverpool girls basketball going toward a state title, and West Genesee boys basketball going toward a state title, and LeMoyne women's basketball going toward an NEC championship, which could push the NCAA to hopefully change their 4-year hiatus of a reclassifying team from playing in the NCAA tournament. There's a lot of things in Central and Upstate New York to be happy about, and I'm proud to know them all. Top dogs of the week. You know what to do. Get in touch with K9 Camp Dog Daycare at 315-437-7110, and also to K9 Kampground Dog Boarding at 315-299-4013 for short and long-term care for your dogs. Thank you to K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding for all you do to help us to feel safe and secure with our dogs there with you for the day or for a more extended time at K9 Kampground in their cabin. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you to Chad, to the incredible team that has helped us find a home away from home for the dogs that have become true and complete members of our family. We love and appreciate you. We'll take a step aside. We'll be back right after this. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to K9 Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see K9 Kampground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call K9 Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9 Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to K9 Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and cannot thank you enough for all the support on our social media. I do want to put a thing out here to everybody as we started a new group. Yesterday, I started a new Syracuse fan group. It's called Syracuse Orange Faithful. And the picture of it is an actual picture I took of our beautiful dome, all lit up. And I started that group on Facebook yesterday. And we have had a tremendous, tremendous response. It's been absolutely amazing. And I'm so thankful for everybody that's joined us. We're about to hit 100 members, hopefully at some point today, and we just started the group. It's not even been around for 24 hours. So thank you to those of you that have joined us. I look forward to talking with you. I look forward to sharing things with you, and it means a lot to me. And Syracuse Orange Faithful, I wanted to put Syracuse Orange and the word faithful. It's how I've lived my life, and it's something that I've had to learn how to be better at, and how important faith is, and that you have to have it. You can't just say you have it. So, faithful to me is when you don't know what to do, God. When you don't know what to say, God. And so I decided to call it Faithful because I think that I've had to learn to have faith. And I think we all have to. And I'm excited to build this journey and to have the awesome people with me to do it. So shout out to them. Shout out to Joanne and Corey. And let's go have some fun. I'm excited to have these discussions with the Syracuse fans that I've been having for a very long time, I've covered Syracuse. I've been a broadcaster for over 20 years. I've covered Syracuse for the entire time. So, and since I came back home, I've been credentialed on the Hill for over a decade, and it's been a beautiful thing. So I want to thank the Syracuse Orange fans and fans of everybody that come and hang out. Means a lot to me. So if you have not yet, go to Facebook and join the group Syracuse Orange Faithful. We would appreciate it so very much. And I am so grateful for all of you that have already joined. You're awesome. You're rock stars. So let's have some cool discussion. Let's be good to each other. Let's share our opinions and understand that difference of opinion is not a bad thing. And yeah, I've told people since my show started, justify your opinion and be respectful. If you can do those two things, that's all you need. Justify your opinion and be respectful. That's all I ever ask of people. I think that's what you need. Justify your opinion and be respectful. So I look forward to having awesome conversations with you all, and I appreciate y'all tremendously. My Syracuse Orange faithful, and I look forward, like I said, to you joining the group today. We just opened it up. Like I said, less than 24 hours ago, I created this group, and I'm looking forward to building it with some incredible people and people that I've had conversations with for years now. And, you know, we don't always agree, but I'm happy to have you there for the conversation. And that's what I think society has lost, is it's okay to disagree as long as you can respect each other, not personally attack each other, and just have some fun, right? Share what you're passionate about and just have some fun with it. So thank you to everybody that's joined in, and I look forward to having more of you join this morning and throughout the day. God bless y'all. So Syracuse Orange Faithful, new group on Facebook. Just wanted to make a little note about that. I got a lot of things on my brain because there's a lot of things that are happening right now. And we got breaking news coming up with Bob Beretta of LeMoyne about LeMoyne in a little bit over a half an hour. But before we get to that, this stuff that's on my head, there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about right now. You know, that we got NBA, we have NFL free agency. We have all these moves that are currently happening. And with all these things that are going on in the NFL, it's shaking up the league. And at the same time, we have all these conference tournaments going on, and I'm covering these conference tournaments, and I'm doing Q&As by the kindness and generosity of amazing people working in the athletic departments and communication departments of, you know, these schools and universities and conferences. So thank you to them. Thank you to, you know, Chuck Sullivan for over a decade of working with the American Athletic Conference, and Tom and Chuck and Mike and everybody at the American has been incredibly tremendous. I want to duplicate them and send them all over. It's just wonderful people. And I mean, I've had the opportunity to cover conferences all throughout the country, and student athletes and coaches and, you know, the universities and the colleges. I've been very spoiled to cover these incredible places. So, you know, I mean, I look back on conversations we've had in Commissioner Corner to get to know about the leadership around the country, you know, and speaking with the A-Sun, and speaking with teams within the America East, speaking with the American Athletic Conference, speaking with teams inside of the A-10, obviously covering the ACC for over a decade, speaking with teams like Houston, who's now in the Big 12, going to the Big East Media Days, going to the Big East Tournament multiple times, right? Speaking with the Big Sky, speaking with the Big South, speaking with representation of people that have been connected to the Big Ten, speaking with the Big West, you know, speaking with institutions inside of the CAA, the Conference USA, the teams that have come in and out of there, speaking to the independents of the world. You know, I feel, you know, speaking to Mike Kitts, who has a connection to the Horizon League, speaking to those in connection with the Ivy League, you know, talking about teams, and Mike Kitts also connected in the past to the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, the MAAC, speaking with the MAC recently here, the Mid-American Conference, with their commissioner, Dr. John Steinbrecher, to, you know, speaking with people in this country about, you know, the teams and that are connected to the MEAC that are associate members with the NEC, like a Howard. I mean, you go through this, obviously covering the NEC before LeMoyne is in and since LeMoyne's in, and the Patriot League being on the show, and the SoCon being on the show, and the Southland being on the show, and SWAC representation being on the show, and the Summit League being on the show, and the Sun Belt being on the show, and covering the West Coast Conference. I value that because I want to get a pulse for what's going on around the country. I've never wanted to pigeonhole myself. Anytime, like if somebody was ever like, hey, you have, we've gone out 1,500 miles. Do you want to go any farther? And I always say yes. Not because I'm greedy, not because I'm selfish, but because I love to challenge myself. And so covering the NCAA tournament is incredible to me, whether it's Division 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter, the NJCAA, the USCAA. I love covering this time because last year we made history. Last year I did over 30 interviews coast to coast, north to south, east to west. We covered teams all over. And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. If you actually go to our Instagram channel, you can see it on Instagram. If you go to Instagram at wakeupcall_DT, which is on your screen right now, and you go to my profile, underneath my profile, you have all those circles, which are, each of the individual, storylines. And if you scroll down here, I think once I click on it, it's going to end up putting it at the top. But yeah, if you click on March Madness, you can see just last year who we spoke to. We spoke to Grand Canyon. We spoke to FAU, Memphis, Arizona State, TCU, Gonzaga, San Diego State, Princeton, UConn, Arkansas, Tennessee, Xavier, I'm going through all of them right now, Miami, Texas, there's a lot of Gonzaga ones here, and yeah, I think that's everybody. Just all through, and you can literally go back and look at the history. It was such an incredible thing to be able to do, and I can't thank the NCAA enough for it. I know that I critique some NCAA rules and things that I agree with or don't agree with. We have those discussions, but I never come at the NCAA or anyone with a level of disrespect. I know that it's got to be very difficult to oversee. I mean, just in Division I for men's and women's basketball, there's over 360 teams, schools. Then you add in Division II, and then you add in over 400 in Division III. I mean, that's insanity, and it's all in the NCAA. So there's things I agree with, and there's things that I don't agree with. But the one thing I want to make clear, if I haven't made it clear before, is that I respect that, the NCAA, without them, there wouldn't be all of these wonderful opportunities and privileges of getting to do what I did last year, which is to be able to be in my community of Central and Upstate New York and at the same time be all over the world, all over the country, I should say, and to get to cover these teams as if I was sitting in the room. So I want to thank the technology. I want to thank the NCAA. I want to thank each conference that we've had the opportunity and the blessing to work with. I look forward to working with all the conferences. And I thank every college and university that's given me their time, every athletic department, every SID, every AD, every president and chancellor. Thank you. Because this journey is aided by those of you that are welcoming and appreciative and kind and informative and willing to take on a new person to build a new relationship. And because of everyone that's been open to building relationships with me, I've gotten to form bonds all over the country and some outside of this country. And I just want to say thank you from my whole heart for being such an amazing blessing in my life. And I want to thank God for guiding me and guarding me and helping me to do things that I didn't even think were possible when I set out on this journey. So thank you to everybody for that. And what I was saying was, as the NFL is doing its thing, March Madness is happening. And I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening, but the two biggest ones that are going on in my head right now is NFL free agency and in just trades and all that. And then at the same time, the other thing that's on my head is March Madness and this conference championship week and tracking each tournament and everything that's going on. So this has been a lot of fun. And what happened yesterday, folks, Desmond Ritter's already been traded. Kirk Cousins goes from Minnesota to the Falcons. He gets paid a very fair amount of mulala, and now Desmond Ridder is already not the quarterback of the Falcons. He has been traded to the Cardinals. And the trading from one nest to the other, Desmond Ridder goes from the Falcons to the Cardinals. Rondale Moore, wide receiver, goes from the Cardinals to the Falcons. So they bring in a quarterback and take away one of the receivers. So, I mean, that's interesting. Ryan Bates, these are things that happened within the last couple of days. Ryan Bates, offensive tackle, went from the Bills to the Bears. Carlton Davis, corner, went from the Bucks to the Lions. Mac Jones got traded from the Patriots to the Jaguars to be the Jaguars' backup quarterback behind Trevor Lawrence. And now the Jaguars have two quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round in the top 15 of the 2021 NFL draft. Trevor Lawrence, number 1, Mac Jones, number 15. And they're now both on the same team. Mac Jones returns to his hometown of Jacksonville, New York, which is a really cool homecoming story to tell, and I look forward to telling it. And in my hopeful 14th season covering the Jaguars on site, on location. So excited for that. And that happening for a 6th round pick, so not too shabby. Joe Mixon is going to the Texans from the Bengals. I've never been 100% sold on Joe Mixon, but I'm really excited for Joe, and I'm excited for this opportunity because you have CJ Stroud. We'll see what John Mechie III can put together. But when I look at this roster for the Houston Texans, you have the offensive and defensive National Football League Rookies of the Year on the same team, drafted number 2 and number 3 respectively. CJ Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL, quarterback drafted number 2 overall out of Ohio State. Then drafted out of Fly Slamma Jamma Bama, Will Anderson Jr. on the defensive side of the ball, defensive lineman, drafted 3rd overall when the Texans traded with the Arizona Cardinals to get 2 of the top 3 picks in the 2023 NFL draft. They go ahead and they draft Will Anderson Jr., and he becomes Defensive Rookie of the Year. So you're returning 100% of the Rookies of the Year from this past season, plus you're bringing in Joe Mixon, plus you have Nico Collins, who stepped up big for them in the receiving corps, Tank Dell hopefully coming back from injury, Dalton Schultz signing an extension. They got to work on their offensive line, obviously. But the Houston Texans, without Joe Mixon, are a dangerous team. Now, Joe Mixon, CJ Stroud's got to be licking his chops right now. Jerry Jeudy going from the Broncos to the Browns, wide receiver. He's going to join Amari Cooper. He'll also join Nick Chubb and David Njoku to be weapons for Deshaun Watson. They also brought in Jameis Winston to the Cleveland Browns, mind you. Brian Burns goes from the Panthers to the Giants. Defensive end for the Giants now. Morgan Moses, offensive tackle, goes from the Ravens to the Jets. Dante Jackson, corner, goes from the Panthers to the Steelers. Deontay Johnson goes from the Steelers to the Panthers, young wide receiver in the league. So, we'll see. You know how you walk up to a restaurant like my dad and I did yesterday, and you think you're going in to eat, and it says closed under new management? Well, the Carolina Panthers closed out last season trying to figure things out, and they're currently under literally new management with a new general manager and a new head coach. And we'll see if they can create some opportunities and some weapons and things for Bryce Young, and how long this Bryce Young test is going to continue. How long they're going to stick with Bryce Young as their quarterback. Could they pull a Desmond Ridder? if it doesn't work, I mean, I hope it works out this year. If it doesn't work out this year for Carolina, do they trade him like Desmond Ridder got traded? So, and we have a draft pick trade, by the way. This happened today, literally today, March 15th. Minnesota acquired 2024 first-round pick number 23 overall and a 2024 seventh-round pick number 232 in a trade with the Houston Texans, who acquired 2024 second-round pick number 42 overall, a 2024 sixth-round pick number 188 overall, and a 2025 second-round pick. So the Minnesota Vikings are trading up in the draft and giving themselves a first-round pick this year, number 23 overall, and a seventh-round pick this year in a trade with the Texans that will give the Texans a second-round pick this year at number 42 and next year, and will give them a sixth-round pick this year at number 188. So monitor that. That is the first draft pick trade of the 2024 draft, if memory serves me correctly. Keenan Allen, remember what I said about Mike Williams and Keenan Allen? And how, Jim Harbaugh, I said if Jim Harbaugh was going to take any job, I saw him taking the Los Angeles Chargers job, which is exactly where he is at. And I also said they got to figure out what to do with Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, and Mike Williams, because the guys are talented, but they can't seem to stay healthy. And they're getting older. And now none of them are on the team. So apparently the Chargers and I are on the same wavelength right now. And because I thought they'd bring in Jim Harbaugh if he was going to go anywhere, I picked there because he was on the West Coast with the San Francisco 49ers. And then I started talking on the show about, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. He's got those weapons with Justin Herbert, but they're getting older and they don't stay healthy. Well, now Keenan Allen has been traded to Chicago for a 2024 fourth-round pick, number 110 overall. So Chicago gets Keenan Allen, and the Chargers get a draft pick. Other things that have happened here. By the way, A.J. Dillon, with them bringing in Josh Jacobs to Green Bay, A.J. Dillon is still staying in Green Bay. He signed a one-year deal for $2.74 million. I thought that was important to note that they're going to keep A.J. Dillon, at least for a season. Eric Armstead, defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers, signs a free agency deal, 3 years, $51 million with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have been making some moves here. So what did I say? What did I say? They need help on the defensive line and in the secondary. I like their linebackers, but they need help on the defensive line and they need help in the secondary. Well, they went and got Eric Armstead, who's coming off of a team that just fought for the opportunity to win a Super Bowl and were the runners-up out of 32 franchises. So not too shabby on that. Ray McLeod, who I covered at Clemson, the wide receiver, has been bouncing around the NFL. He's going to continue to bounce as he will head to Atlanta on a 2-year deal. Giving some updates here. There's a restructured contract with Joey Bosa, outside linebacker with the Chargers, which they were in the worst shape of any one of the 32 NFL franchises. They literally were, when I had originally checked, they were negative $15 million when it came to cap space. And they've since got it down, and I'm sure the restructuring of that contract has helped them out. Desmond Ridder, I mentioned. Josh Johnson, quarterback that's bounced around the NFL, spent some good time with the Bucs. He signed a 1-year deal to back up Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Nathan Peterman, who's been all around the NFL, he's going to New Orleans to be a backup quarterback to Derek Carr. And some of these other moves here. Von Bell, strong safety, 1-year deal, $6 million with the Cincinnati Bengals. Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Lions, was signed to a contract extension, and their general manager, Brad Holmes, was signed to a 4-year extension. So one team, the Carolina Panthers, bringing in a new head coach, and their third head coach in 3 years, I believe, and a new general manager. And then Detroit, in a totally different world, extending their head coach and extending their general manager here. Seems like Detroit's going in the right direction. Hayden Hurst was released by the Carolina Panthers, which cleared up $52,156, which is like $12 in NFL money. But it still cleared up money. Saving money is saving money, folks. However much it is, it's still saving. So, I love saving money. So looking at some of these other ones here, post June 1st release for Odell Beckham Jr. in Baltimore, the wide receiver will be released. Nick Folk, who has found a way to hang on in the NFL and kick for many teams, he is now going to be the kicker for the Tennessee Titans on a one-year deal for $3.755 million. Two of the biggest things that I appreciate from this year's offseason in the NFL is that kickers seem to be paid more money. They seem to be making around like $3-4 million in some cases. And the tight end market has garnered a lot more money too. And I'm really excited for that because kickers and tight ends don't get the love that other positions do. And it's good to see that at least monetarily, they're being more. So I love seeing that. I'm really excited to see that. Arizona's been signing a bunch of people. Guard Elijah Wilkinson, safety Bobby Price, long snapper Aaron Brewer, linebacker Chris Barnes, all coming in here to the Arizona Cardinals, who are just making a bunch of moves right now. Michael Jackson, not that one, cornerback of the Seattle Seahawks, a one-year, $3.116 million tender by Seattle goes to him. We've gone through a bunch of these. And at the same time, even though we talked about this just, we've had this conversation on the show, and yet these are all, the majority that I've said to you this morning are new. There's been so much action. I said Mike Williams released by the Los Angeles Chargers. And so I want to get back to the Chargers story here because like I had stated, when Jim Harbaugh took the job, I said, it was before he even took the job. I said, Justin Herbert to me, when I was talking about if the two places that I could see Bill Belichick going, I said I could see him in Atlanta because there's a bunch of young talent and he'd have to go get a quarterback, which ironically is what they ended up doing without Bill Belichick, is having a bunch of young talent and then going and getting Kirk Cousins. I said if he didn't go to Atlanta, I could see him going to the Chargers if Jim Harbaugh didn't go there, because I would think if I'm Bill Belichick, I either want this incredible franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert and then go find weapons, or I want the young weapons and go find the quarterback. And it was kind of like, which one would you rather do? And both franchises are doing what I thought they would do. Justin Herbert with the Chargers in Los Angeles, and his weapons that have been good, that have gotten older, that have been injured a lot, are not on the team anymore. And then on the other side of it, when you look, or I shouldn't say on the other side of it, when you look at Atlanta's franchise, they had the young pieces, but they needed the quarterback, so they went and did that. So both of the franchises did what I thought they were going to do. And the thing that's strange to me is with both of these franchises doing what I had prognosticated, I still thought Bill Belichick, if he wanted to coach, was going to keep coaching. So it's been interesting to not see him out there. But, maybe he takes a year off and comes back, or maybe he stays out. I mean, the man doesn't have to coach anymore. Again, it's what is your passion? What is your desire? What is your want to? Austin Eckler's 2-year, $8.34 million contract with the Washington Commanders. So let's go to the Chargers. Back to that prediction that I had of Jim Harbaugh or Bill Belichick comes in. They see, okay, we got a great quarterback in Justin Herbert, but Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, they never seem to be able to stay healthy for an entire season. And usually when one of them's healthy, the other one's hurt. Sometimes both of them are hurt, like a couple of years ago. Austin Eckler is probably the least hurt of the three, but he still gets hurt, and they're all getting older. So am I going to come here and go get young weapons? What am I going to do? And now, like I was stating before, Keenan Allen is a Chicago Bear. Austin Eckler is a Washington Commander. And Mike Williams is looking for a job in the NFL. They're all gone. So the situation that I had anticipated is it's happened. And here we are. And now, as we move forward, it's going to be really interesting to see what Jim Harbaugh can put together with this Chargers team and what they're going to go after first. and what they're going to lean on. Who on their team offensively as a weapon are they going to lean on? Are they going to keep some guys around? This young talent, where does this young talent stand? I mean, Jim Harbaugh coming in has already made a bunch of moves in the front office too. I mean, I got to give everybody credit. Quentin Johnston, he's going into his second year. Darius Davis is going into his second year. Do these young receivers have a chance? Donald Parham Jr., who was one of my favorites of the second iteration of the XFL, he's still there at tight end. The other tight ends are gone. So, I would imagine in the draft they'll be looking for a tight end. I would imagine they'll be looking for a running back. They'll be looking for a wide receiver. Defensively, they're going to have to do some things here too. And, I mean, they have Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. and Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. So, I mean, I would think they're probably going to, from what I'm looking at, lean more offensively, at least to start off the draft. But it's already exciting to see the moves the Chargers have made, because in my prediction of what I saw happening, it's fully come to fruition that those three weapons are gone, which means that they now are in search of a starting running back and at least two receivers, which makes for a very interesting draft and rest of the offseason. The absolute blizzard of moves in the NFL has been incredible to see. I'm going through this list and I'm looking at it from, and everything could be made official on March 13th, but we were hearing about moves before that. We were hearing about moves around March 11th, and like Devin Duvernay and Gardner Minshew and so on. So we've been hearing about these moves for almost a week now, and looking up and down this list, I mean, there's so many things that are changing. There's so many situations that are changing. The, kick return, punt return of Jacksonville, that's changing. The quarterback situation with the Raiders, that's changing. The quarterback situation in Atlanta, the potential quarterback situation in Arizona, the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. This offseason is not like, oh, okay, some of these guys are moving around and this guy's a backup and that guy's a backup. Will Dissly is going to the Chargers. So I said Donald Parham Jr., and we'll see what they do with tight end. I forgot to state that Will Dissly, who was let go by Seattle, I said earlier this week, but did not say today, that Will Dissly, a 3-year, $14 million contract with the Chargers. And that was one of the notes that I was making, that it's nice to see tight ends making some money. 3-year, $14 million, knowing that he's going to make in his contract, if he stays the 3 years and they pay him in full, that he's going to make $4 million a year is pretty awesome. But, looking at all of this, the mega deal with Brian Burns, 5-year, $141 million contract to be with the New York Giants. So that was the, franchise tag and move of the Carolina Panthers. And you look at that money, you look at Josh Allen, who I spoke about restructuring his contract. There's so many transactions that have had. Basically, if the NFL was someone who had a bank account, they would be locked out of their bank for at least 24 hours, because they've made way too many transactions. And it's great to see. I mean, this is awesome. And I look forward to what's coming next. And speaking about what's coming next, coming up in just a few is going to be Bob Beretta. We got some exclusive news to share with you about LeMoyne that you do not want to miss right after this.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, located for you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Make sure you make your way over to GG Cards and Breaks that has something for all collectors: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, AEW, all sport, as well as Pokemon and the new Disney Lorcana that's been around for the last couple of years here. Just came out with a new series. There's 3 series. The newest series, Into the Inklands, just came out, and I am just so excited and appreciative that, you know, GG Cards and Breaks, they always go the extra mile. They do so much for the community, and they care so much about the trading card community and the central and upstate New York community. It's fun to be partnered with them because they're wonderful people. I was in there yesterday, you know, shooting video and taking pictures and doing different things to share with you just the awesome world that lives inside of 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. And, you know, Josh and Anthony were hard at work, just working together, trying to figure things out, doing different things. And I applaud that. I applaud that, you know, in this world that we live in and running a business, sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's confusing. And to see 2 people just kicking butt, and I don't think they give themselves enough credit, so I'm going to give it to them. Thank you for working as hard as you do. Thank you for the effort that you put in. Thank you for the enthusiasm. And thank you for caring amidst everything that was going on in your life and all the stuff keeping you busy. Thank you for caring that I was in there and that, you know, it mattered to you that I came in yesterday. So that means a lot. It never goes unnoticed. It goes a long way. So big time shout out to GG Cards and Breaks. Go experience the difference at 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York today, right off at Teal Ave. 7 days a week, open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, we got big news coming up with Bob Beretta in just a few moments, and it's going to be airing on wakeupcalldt.com in 4 minutes. The actual physical release of it is airing in 4 minutes, and I cannot wait. I'm very excited. So like I said, I'm very impatient about it. Like, I want to tell you so badly. Please understand that I do. And I can't. And so Bob actually says he's ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and bring Bob in here onto a wake-up call with Dan Tortora. So we're going to bring in the athletics director of LeMoyne College here on Wake Up Call, where sports meets life, in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with LeMoyne College. This partnership that we have with LeMoyne, we are the only to have this partnership with LeMoyne College. It's the first one that they've ever signed in the history of their institution, and I am honored and privileged, as always, to be a part of this incredible partnership. And we're already in year 3. It's been a tremendously rewarding and fun time for me, and I'm so grateful for everything that has come from this. So with that being said, I look forward to bringing Bob here in to this in just a couple minutes here, as Bob is going to be joining us to have the conversation about something huge. And I keep thinking to myself, because I'm like, I want to release it so bad, that I keep in my head saying, did I say it? So like, I'm like, wait, did I just tell everybody what it was? Because it's big. It's big, it's substantial, and I cannot wait to talk with you about it. So it's going to be coming out here this morning. It's exclusive wake-up call. It's massive news. It's super, super exciting and rewarding and just incredible. And I'm running out of words other than the words that I want to say. So, it's coming up, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, as we await bringing Bob Beretta in here this morning, I want to thank you all for being with us on our channels all across the world. YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. However you're tuning into the show, wherever you are in the world, thank you for being with us Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Once the shows go live, they hop into the archives, and you can find us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. We will take a very quick step aside. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Rd in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. I appreciate you being here. We have officially released the story on wakeupcalldt.com. We're awaiting Bob Beretta so that I can talk with him about it with you here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You can go to wakeupcalldt.com right now to read the exclusive story that is out there for you. This is exclusive breaking news. Whoever, wherever, whatever you're doing, go to wakeupcalldt.com right now for exclusive breaking news. That is wakeupcalldt.com for the exclusive that we have, that you will only find here, that has been released this morning in celebration of the fact that something massive is happening with LeMoyne women's basketball. Something that people thought was impossible. It is not. It is very possible because of the incredible work of President Dr. Linda Lemura, Athletics Director Bob Beretta, and everyone with the Board of Trustees led by Pete DeLaura, everyone involved in the wonderful world of LeMoyne athletics can proudly be a part of something that is just absolutely huge. I'm honestly, I'm ecstatic for LeMoyne. I'm ecstatic for this opportunity, and I want to say it. I want to shout it from the rooftops. And so you can go on our website and you can check it out. And you're like, well, Dan, why aren't you saying it if it's on your website? It's because I want to officially say it with Bob. So I'm awaiting Bob joining me here on the show so that we can say this together. But you can go on to our social media. It's on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT. It's on X at Call DT. And it's on Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. So just go there now. Check it out. It's on our social media. It is on our website, wakeupcalldt.com. The article is exclusive. The article has been uploaded. It is there for your enjoyment. And Bob and I are going to be talking about it in an all-new AD and DT featuring Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. You do not want to miss this conversation that is about to happen here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you for being a part of the show, and thank you for being with us as we await Bob. I want to thank our incredible partners and implore you to go and visit all of our partners in Central and Upstate New York: Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, GG Cards and Breaks, Avicoli's, Canine Camp, Dog Daycare, Mother's Cupboard, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Great Lakes Honda City, Chick-fil-A Cicero, and Chick-fil-A Clay. And of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partners of your Moyne College Dolphins. It is Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Dolphins on Wednesdays during Dolphin Time. Nobody gives LeMoyne a spotlight like we have here for them with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. Your Dolphins find you in Dolphin Time Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And the first and third Wednesday of each month, AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora. Second and fourth Wednesday, we bring you the Dolphin Dive, diving into stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. Find all of our content by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and clicking subscribe, hitting the notification bell, and finding our LeMoyne playlist right there for you on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Dolphins by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab on wakeupcalldt.com. As always, for more information, you can go to LeMoyneDolphins.com, and you know what it is, Fins Up. Bob Beretta, we're awaiting him coming in here to join us this morning so that we can unveil the news with him. And with that being said, I now don't have to keep myself quiet about it anymore. I've been trying to be very patiently quiet. The article is up on the website. It is exclusive to Wake Up Call. You are looking at it on our website, wakeupcalldt.com, right now. And with that being said, I now get to bring in picture-in-picture with me, Mr. Bob Beretta. Bob, you and I have been able to share a lot of information over these last few years. This has got to be one of my most favorite things. I have put it on the website. People can read it. It's on our social media. But I have refused to say the words because I wanted to wait for you to say it with me. So I would love for you to tell people what I have been waiting to say this morning.
Yeah, hey Dan, thanks for the opportunity. It's been a great journey. It's been an honor and a privilege to join you, or to have you join us along this adventure of the last 3 years, and certainly the last year and a half. And it culminates really with this announcement is the best news that we've had for one team since we announced the reclassification in our women's basketball team. Just an incredible story this year. Started 2-11. They've won 16 of their last 18 games. And we're here to announce today that they will be rewarded with an invitation to the postseason. And we have accepted a bid to the WNIT. And that is big time news for our college, for our athletic department, and certainly for the women's basketball program. A tribute to Mary Grimes' leadership and the leadership of those young ladies on that team. They are a model of resiliency. We talk about fighting through adversity and being able to show this grit and resiliency. Well, when you start 2-11 and now you stand 18-13, play for a championship of your league in year one, that's about as resilient as it gets. And they're rewarded with this tremendous opportunity to play on a national stage in what really is a tournament with great history, great heritage, and we'll be part of that now, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I can finally say it that we're going to the WNIT. It's massive. It's huge news. It's a great tribute, like you said, to everything that Mary Grimes has been doing, not just this season, but since she returned to LeMoyne, and this being her third season. She brought the team to back-to-back NCAA tournament berths in her 2 seasons in Division II, and is now going to the WNIT in Division I. To know that there is more life, to know that there's a postseason, to know that this is real. I mean, Bob, it's a tremendous effort. It's absolute grit, like you talked about. It's losing 2 games in almost 20 games played in the NEC. It's being away from home for a month and a half in non-conference play, and everything that this team has had to endure, everything they've had to do to play teams in the top 5 and the top 10. This story should be a movie coming to a theater near you. And what I'm excited about is, in the 3rd act of this story, we're going to the postseason.
Yeah, it's pretty special, Dan. We just had a meeting with the team, and Coach notified the team. She had a special announcement, and you'll see some of those reactions up on our social media platforms later today. We already had a camera or 2 in there, and they're excited. You know, obviously Sunday is priority number 1, and the most important goal of our season is playing for a championship. And we have the opportunity to play for a championship Sunday, and that'll be nationally televised on ESPNU against Sacred Heart, team that we split with in the regular season, defeated them on their home court in January, and then came here, and Sacred Heart returned that favor in February here. But I think that'll be a fantastic environment for us to go and play for a championship. And then knowing that Sunday, no matter what the result, our ladies will have an opportunity to lace them up one more time at least and play in the postseason. Really exciting. It's well-deserved. I think they were excited about the opportunity. More history. They create history every day. They step on the court, and now they'll be the first Division I program in the history of this school to play in a postseason tournament outside of a league postseason championship. So they continue to be trailblazers, and we're inspired by them.
Yeah, you know, and like you talked about, Mary Grimes getting to give the team the news this morning. You know, last night, when we're sitting there in the post-game press conference for the NEC, and the student athletes are talking about, you know, we got one more game to play, and that's it. And, you know, and there's people standing there behind cameras going, what's it going to be like for you knowing that it's the end no matter what? Like this is it. But it wasn't. To think that all is over, and even if you win a championship, there's still going to be like that bittersweetness of we could be NEC champions, but at the same time we have to stay home. And now that's not the case. You have worked at it. Linda Lemure has worked at it. NEC Commissioner Noreen Morris to even allow LeMoyne in NEC tournament play. They've worked at it. All the leaders at the other institutions of the NEC have worked at it. The Board of Trustees at LeMoyne has worked at it. That you have consistently given your student athletes opportunities that they didn't think they were going to have. What was the moment like when Mary Grimes told them, hey, y'all, like, we're fighting for a championship, but guess what? After that, we're going to play for a national championship in the WNIT.
Yeah, it was special. It was special. It was just, I think some of the players had an inkling. You try to keep things quiet. We've known for about a week that we were likely going to be invited as an automatic qualifier, and it's hard to keep that news completely quiet all the time. So I'm not sure that they were completely caught off guard by it, but still, it's a tremendous accomplishment for them, and to know that Sunday is not the end of their careers in some cases, and certainly not the end of their season. And then I look at the postseason as a reward. I looked at it that way when I was at Army and we had the chance to go to postseason, whether it was with women's basketball several times while I was there. We went to the WNIT. We went to the NCAAs the first time ever in that school's history. Football bowl games, I was able to go to several while I was at West Point. And the moment where you're able to notify the student athletes, that's always the best part, right? It's a great experience to go and participate, but really that opportunity where you have that sheer joy and that emotion, and these are young people in some cases. They came here thinking they were going to play Division II basketball, and we changed the rules of engagement on them in midstream. And who would have thought that now they're going to go play in one of the most prestigious postseason events in the history of the sport? So really excited for them. I'm blessed to have the opportunity to be part of play this, some small part in this reclassification and the transition. And for us as administrators, our job is to create opportunities for our student athletes to provide unparalleled experiences while they're here, transformational experiences. And I think athletics does that. I think this reclassification has done that because you face some really stark challenges. But again, what better example than our women's basketball team that, hey, you're going to hit some rough patches, but you just keep pounding that rock and you keep your nose to the grindstone, all those cliches, but it's true. You just show up every day and you just do the right thing and work hard, and you'll get rewarded. And I think that our teams are seeing that across the board. Teams are starting out and there's a transitional period and an acclimation period. And then as we kind of get into the season, you start to experience some success, and it's been consistent. I mean, look, softball opened up 1-10 and now 4 straight victories going into our NEC opener this weekend. We're seeing it across the board. And again, to have the great opportunity to be part of that in some small way and to witness that sheer joy is really gratifying for me.
Yeah, and Mary talked about it yesterday in the post game, and she talked about it before that too. When I asked her in the quarterfinals of the NEC tournament and in the semifinals, she brought it up twice of saying, our student athletes didn't think that they were going to be able to play. Like, we had to have those tough conversations of like, no matter what we do in our first season in Division I, we're not going to be playing for a tournament. We're going to have to stay at home. It's going to be over. And then to give them the news of you're going to get to play in the NEC tournament. And now they're playing in the NEC championship. By the way, if they weren't able to play in the NEC tournament, we would have been without 50% of this championship game because LeMoyne is only behind Sacred Heart in overall record, 14-2. Sacred Heart's 15-1. The only loss that Sacred Heart has of 16 games played in the NEC regular season is to LeMoyne at Sacred Heart, which is where LeMoyne is going this Sunday at noon Eastern time to try and do it again in Fairfield, Connecticut. What better way to end any conference tournament than when the top 2 teams Sacred Heart 15-1 in the conference, LeMoyne 14-2. And LeMoyne looks like they've been in the conference for 100 years. So here we go with a chance to get some hardware, and then no matter what, the automatic qualifier is in. LeMoyne is joining USC Upstate, UNC Greensboro, and also another reclassifying school out of Indiana. When we look at southeastern Indiana, when we have this connection of automatic qualifiers here, it's an awesome thing. And UNC Greensboro, I mean, I've covered them before, or Southern Indiana, I should say. UNC Greensboro, I've covered them. USC Upstate, I'm familiar with. And then Southern Indiana coming in and reclassifying last year and them having some life. There's a lot of substantiality to what we're talking about, that LeMoyne is included in this automatic qualifier, that they've already gotten a bid. They don't have to wait with the rest of the field to see if they're going to get into the WNIT. That speaks volumes of what Mary's done, what the student athletes have done, what the entire staff has done with this Dolphins team, to say, you're in your first year of reclassification, first year in D1, first year in the NEC, you're playing for a championship, and the WNIT wants you so bad that they want to make you one of the 4 automatic qualifiers before they pick the field, to make sure that they've locked you in before you even play your tournament championship. That's massive, and that is a huge, huge compliment to the Heights.
Yeah, well said, Dan. And people ask kind of what's the automatic qualifier all about? Well, again, they're going to announce the field. The WNIT is going to announce the field Sunday night, but there's other tournaments and other options. So they want to lock you in if you're going to commit and make you an automatic qualifier, so they don't have to worry about their competition. And we have options, right? We would have had options, and so we're ecstatic to commit to the WNIT as an automatic qualifier, and be one of 4, as you mentioned right now, and we'll find out the rest of the field Sunday night, and then Monday morning we'll find out where we're going and who we're playing. We won't host a game. We know that. We did not request to host a game. There's some financial ramifications involved there that we just felt like right now in our transition process, it's something that we rather pursue down the road.
Yeah.
But we'll find out Monday who we're going to play, where we're going to play, and hopefully we have an NEC championship to be talking about as well on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, it's just, I mean, it's huge, and it's left me somewhat speechless, which is, for a broadcaster is challenging, but it's put me in a place where I'm very proud. Like you said, the knowledge of it has been there, and so you're just kind of like sitting there chomping at the bit, wanting to scream it from the rooftops, like, guess what we're going to be doing. So I'm happy that we finally got to say it today. I love the fact that they left Ted Grant Court with a victory. This team has only gotten better with time. They've been incredible. It is a testament to not just Mary Grimes, but all of the coaches, that they do not recruit Division II talent. They recruit talent. They recruit good students in the classroom and good athletes on the fields, courts, and pools of life. It is not a discrepancy of, are they looking for Division II or Division I? A lot of these coaches are saying, I'm looking for the top talent that wants to come play for us, get a good education, and put themselves in a good situation. So we know no matter what, the NEC Championship for their tournament will be nationally televised on ESPNU, and we will see that game this Sunday at noon Eastern Time, LeMoyne at Sacred Heart, round 3. And then Sunday night, we will find out the rest of the field, and then at noon Eastern Time, Monday, March 18th, we will find out where LeMoyne is going, what time, and who they will be facing. Bob, thank you so much for once again trusting me to share this exclusive news. I have jitters as if I'm going to play, and I'm absolutely just ecstatic. First year, and the WNIT said, we want LeMoyne. Congratulations to you and to all of LeMoyne College, because I know you said you take a little part, but every single piece of LeMoyne working together on and off the court helps to make these moments possible. And this is one of the greatest things that I've ever been able to announce, because once again, as you and I always talk about, the people behind it, the people that are connected to it, it's not just news. It's knowing the people that have worked to get here. And if Mary and the team didn't do what they needed to do in the classroom and on the court, we're not here. If you and Linda and Noreen Morris and so on and so forth and the board didn't work together to make sure that this was financially possible and logistically possible, none of this stuff happens. So to everybody at LeMoyne, big time fins up, because this is one of the coolest things I've ever gotten to say.
Yeah, it is. And two things before we leave. Again, it doesn't happen without full alignment and support from the top. And that's Dr. Lemura and our VP group that is wholly supportive of this initiative and allowed us to be in this place to begin with at the Division I level, and certainly allowing us to pursue this postseason opportunity. So it doesn't happen without tremendous alignment and great leadership and support from the person that runs the entire institution, and that's Dr. Lemura and the Board of Trustees. And so great thanks to them. But I also, before I go, I want to thank the community, Dan, because we had great support here at, I like to refer to it as the Den here at Ted Grant Court all season long for our men's and women's basketball teams. And having the Beeville band out here 4 or 5 times, it was outstanding, and the crowd that came out to support our teams. Our teams were 19-6 at Ted Grant Court this year. Combined, our men were 10-3, our women were 9-3. Both played their final game on their home court and were victorious. And so really a huge shout out to our community for coming out and helping us earn this postseason berth on the women's side, and something that we haven't announced. And I'd like to at least kind of break the news here too, to let people know. We were invited to a postseason tournament on the men's side as well.
Yeah.
But the timing just didn't align well for us based on when the invitation was extended to us. So we declined that opportunity. Just different circumstances, different situation, and timing didn't align properly. But the timing worked really well for the women, and we're able to announce today that we're going to be participating in the WNIT. So thank you for the platform, the opportunity, the support, and thank you to the LeMoyne, DeWitt, Syracuse communities for coming out and supporting our teams all season long, and hope they come out and show up for our spring sports, because this is just the start. We have several teams that are going strong right now, and they'll be competing for NEC championships here in the weeks and months ahead.
Yeah, no, this is great. And like you said, the men did have an opportunity, and again, with logistics and just getting some things prepared, not able to do it, but we do want to make known it was there. So the men had the opportunity for men's basketball. The women will be heading to the WNIT, and there is so much more coming up. I mean, there's already been incredible stories with men's and women's lacrosse, men's and women's soccer, men's and women's swimming and diving, with tennis, with what golf has done most recently. LeMoyne, as Bob and I and Linda and so on and so forth have echoed, when people say, Do you think you're ready? Do you think my reaction is the same way every time they go, do you think LeMoyne's ready? And I just laugh and I go, yeah, I do. And they've obviously shown that. The WNIT, apparently I have to be traveling, and I'm totally fine with that. So, I tell my mom all the time when March Madness rolls around, she's like, what's your schedule like? I go, Ma, it's more fluid than water. It is such a fluid situation. So, but if I'm going to be putting miles together in honor of a fantastic team and a wonderful coach in Mary Grimes and her coaching staff, well worth doing that. Bob, again, this is just, it's awesome. This is year one. This is literally like the building of the foundation. And we're talking about both teams having opportunities and invitations to the postseason in men's and women's basketball. The WNIT asking LeMoyne to be an automatic qualifier so that they don't have to worry about anybody stealing them away to another tournament. And no matter what happens on Sunday, there's going to be more life. And to not forget the fact that the NEC Tournament Championship finale features LeMoyne, and LeMoyne could be walking away from their first season in the NEC holding up a trophy in honor of the fact that they are at the top of the conference in the first season of reclassification. What words can adequately describe the fact that the Heights is rising? I don't know if there's something happening with tectonic plates and different things moving and shifting, but it seems like the Heights just got a little bit higher up there in Syracuse, New York.
2 words, Dan. Fins up.
Bob Beretta, myself, Dan Tortora, AD and DT. I'll talk with you soon. God bless, Bob. And once again, to the whole school, congratulations.
Thank you, Dan, and thanks for being part of this journey with us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care. That coming once again from Bob Beretta here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. I told y'all, folks, I have chills. I have chills. How crazy is that news? That's awesome. I am so pumped, and I'm so ready for it, but not before. I'm ready for the game this weekend on Sunday. You know, it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling, and I hope every single student athlete on LeMoyne's team is just crying some happy tears today and smiling and laughing and hugging each other and practicing their hearts out, because they have the chance to be an NEC champion in year 1, and then they have the chance to fight for a national championship also in year 1. Good things happen to good people, man. They happen to good people. God bless. Whew. Congratulations, Mary, the staff, the student athletes. Congratulations to the athletic department, to the communications department, to President Dr. Linda Lemura, to Athletics Director Bob Beretta, to Pete DeLora and the Board of Trustees, to the alumni, to the prospective students, to the current students, to all student athletes. This is what it looks like when great people care about each other and they work their tails off, or fins. Congratulations. The Moyne College Dolphins are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Dolphins on Dolphin Time, happening for you on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You will find the Moyne College Dolphins here on Wake Up Call with AD and DT, featuring Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, the first and third Wednesday of each month. Then you'll find the Dolphin Dive, diving into stories of student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. And those stories and my AD and DT specials are all available for you by subscribing to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. And make sure you hit the notification bell. Find the LeMoyne playlist. You can also find the Dolphins by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage. And once you go to that homepage, you can find them there. And you can also find them on the exclusive partners tab on wakeupcalldt.com as well. For more information, go to LeMoyneDolphins.com. And as always, fins up. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. You will find the Bobcat Buzz every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Make sure that you come out here and find us on our YouTube channel on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Hit the notification bell, click subscribe, and you will find all of our Bobcat content, the Bobcat Buzz, coming to you all throughout the year with student athletes, coaches, and administration connected to Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. A fantastic college opportunity for you, whether you've ever been to college, whether you went to college and didn't finish, or whether you're just starting out of high school. Whatever your connection can be to getting your degree and still having an opportunity to get out there and play the sports you love. Men's and women's basketball, baseball, as well as esports and men's and women's soccer, all available to you at Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse. Make sure you get out there to James Street and see what they're all about, and of course support their awesome teams, their student athletes, their coaches, and the administration. Find all of our Bobcat Buzz content, like I said, on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. And of course, you can find them on the homepage of wakeupcalldt.com and underneath the exclusive partners tab on wakeupcalldt.com as well. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. And as always, go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats here with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, our newest exclusive multimedia marketing partner. You will find Binghamton University during Bearcat Time, which happens Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, featuring each month Moments with Marshall with Athletics Director Gene Marshall, giving us a behind-the-scenes look at what's going on at Binghamton University and with the athletic department. And the Bearcat Break Room with stories from student athletes, coaches, and administration connected to those awesome Bearcat teams that we love to support in the Southern Tier. The Binghamton University Bearcats can be found by subscribing to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Hit the notification bell, and you'll find our Binghamton University playlist on our YouTube channel. You can also find the Bearcats by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab on wakeupcalldt.com. For more information, go to bubearcats.com, and let's go, baby. Go Bearcats. With that being said, on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Go out there and get a DT Dolphin today, celebrating the news that the LeMoyne College Dolphins are not only in the NEC Tournament Championship this Sunday, but they're also going to be playing for a national championship in the WNIT. Celebrate that with a DT Dolphin today, a Sunday in honor of the LeMoyne College Dolphins, right down the road from LeMoyne College at Carvel DeWitt on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. The top dog of the week presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, each of East Syracuse, right off of Bridge Street. And, of course, a very special, exclusive AD and DT with Athletics Director Bob Beretta of LeMoyne College and myself, Dan Tortora, breaking the news that the LeMoyne College Dolphins have been asked to and accepted the offer of the WNIT to have an opportunity at a national championship. I hope you have a fantastic day. Head to the snack capital of CNY at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. We look forward to seeing you out there. I appreciate you so very much. Find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, and Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. God bless. No stress. Do your best. And have a